Hello and welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on an explosion box. So this is what it looks like when it's closed. Now the decorating, I had lots of backgrounds that I'd made, so I just stamped them up to make the papers to go on here. Now you don't have to do this, you could use photographs. You can use any papers you like. This is just how I did this because that's what I had at the time. But when we lift the lid, it explodes out. So this one particular one has got 1, 2, 3. So this one's got 4 layers. So there's the first layer. And on the second layer, I have done little pockets on 2 sides, so I'll show you how to do those. Then the third layer, I have done more pockets, but on the opposite side to the previous one. And then the last layer, I've done little windows, so you can put little surprises in behind. And then in the centre is where, if you wanted to, you could have it as a gift. If you were having a gift that could fit in here, you could put a little gift in the centre if you wanted to. So I'm going to show you how to make these. There is 2 ways to make them. You can make them just with a scoreboard and scissors and cutting, but it takes a long time. By the time you measure and you score and everything, it can take a long time. So I'm going to show you something to help make this in a quicker, easier way. So we'll just pop that out of the side. So this is called an explosion board. So this is what I use to make that box. So down the side here, you can see here where it says, if you want an extra, extra large, and that's the one that I just showed you, you use a piece of cardstock that's 12 by 12. If you wanted, so if you were doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you can do 7 layers if you wanted to. And it shows you here the size card you need for each layer. And then it'll also show you what size to cut, or what size card you need to make the lid to suit the size box. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm only going to do 3 layers, just because otherwise it'll take too long to do lots of layers. So that means, because we're doing a 12 by 12 base card, you will need the extra, extra large lid to go with it. If you were only starting with the 9 by 9 medium-sized card as your base box, then you would only need the 5.5 square medium lid box. So I'll show you how it all works. So to start with, we have our 12 by 12 piece of card, and down in the bottom here it's got the bone folder or the scoring tool. So because we've got the 12 by 12 piece, which is the extra, extra large, we're going to score up the top here. It has the corresponding sizes. So we're going to score on the extra, extra large line on all 4 sides. Okay. Just obviously you're rotating it between each one, and this gives an exact one every time you do it. Okay, so that's that one. Then the next size, because I'm only doing 3 boxes, this one is 10 by 10. So here, if you look, 10 by 10 is large. So you go to the large mark at the top. And again, we're going to score on all 4 sides. Like I say, you can do this manually by marking it all out and using a scoreboard or ruler and everything, but this is a lot easier and a lot quicker. Now the third size, so this one is 8 inches by 8 inches. So this is small. So we go to the small mark and again score on all 4 sides. Okay. So that's that. So you'll see it's got all the, I don't know whether you can see that very well. So now we're going to go back to the first one we did. So if you wanted to, you could then cut out all your corner squares, or you can decorate them. So if you wanted to keep the corners in, if you have a look here, there's an angle score line here. So what we're going to do is pop the card back in here and score from there down to where those corners join here. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides. And this will then make where you're folding, if you're not going to cut them out, this is where they will fold in when you're folding it together. So just to show you what I mean. So if we fold that up, fold it there, and then that will then fold on that score line. Now you can leave it like that if you wanted to, and you could have all 4 sides like that. Or what I'm going to do is, on here you've got some templates. So we're going to go for the extra large one. Where are we? Oh. I should have prepared this one earlier and got it out, but anyway. Okay, so using the extra large template, we're going to place that down at the corner and making sure that you've got the centre of the heart there. You don't have to use a heart. You can use anything. You can use nothing. It totally depends what you want to do. Then with a pencil, draw around that template and then cut that out. So this is just going to give us, I'll go back to this one. So that's doing this. So when it's all folded out, you've got these on each corner. So just to save a bit of time, this is one that I did a little bit earlier. So it will look like that when it's flat, excuse me. Okay, so that's the base box. Again, if you wanted to, you could cut them out so that there's nothing there, but I think it looks a little bit nicer having all of that as the centre. Now the next size, which is the, this one here. So what I've done with this one, so if I get my cutting board, so again you can do these with scissors if you like. I just find this easier using this. So I'm going to line that up where these lines join. I'm going to cut that there, and then I'm going to cut that there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going on the score lines. So I'm going to cut that one there, lift it up, go there. So that will now give me little flaps. Like that. So then what I've done is I've marked that at the halfway mark and trimmed these off to give me this so that they join in the middle and it gives you your little window. So you don't have to do that. You can just cut them right off if you prefer. but it just gives another little dimension, a little surprise when people are opening the box. And then you would decorate each one. So that's the second layer. Then on the last one, which is this one here, so what I've done with this is I've cut from that score line across on an angle to that score line on all four sides. So I'll just line those up. Again, ruler and scissors if you don't have this. So I've done that all the way around. And then, so when you've done all that, you'll have a piece that looks like that. Then, using some scissors, I have cut along here. So I then cut on that score line to there, and then fold that in, and then on the other side, from on the score line again to there, and fold that in. And then you would put a little bit of glue along here and fold it over, and then put a little bit of glue there and fold that over. And that is how these ones have been made. So if you're going to decorate them before you glue these down, put your little card or your decorative paper in that section before you glue those down. But if you wanted to leave it just plain, and then you could use it as a little pocket to have something that you could slide in and out. Okay, so that's what I've done with this one. So that's now given me two little pockets. So you would then glue these in place, and that would be your third layer. Like I say, you can do a lot more layers if you like. Then putting glue on the back there, glue your second layer onto your base card, making sure you get it pretty well centered so you've got an even amount around each section on there. And then glue this one. So if you've got the little flaps for that way, you could do the other little window parts that way. So just do them so they're off centre to each other, or opposite sides. I know what I mean. Anyway, so that's it. So then when you put them all together, so once you've done that, you would then trim papers or your photos or whatever you're going to put to sit inside these parts on that layer, and then on this layer, there, and there. And then on the last layer, you would put your paper or photo or something in there if you wanted it. Glue those down, and or you can do little things to slide in and out. So then when you're finished, you have this. Okay, so that's the little window ones. And that's got the little pockets. And then the other ones to those are just plain. You can do pockets on all of them if you want to. And then more little pockets there. Put that side up, and then close it all up. And then you would put your lid on. Okay, now to make the lid, so the lid is a 6.5, because we're doing the 12 by 12 outer box, we've done the 6.5 by 6.5 inch piece for the lid. So you would put this onto here. Actually, here's one. So here's a 6 by 6 piece. So you can see at the top here it says lid. So depending which size you're doing, you would always follow the lid to do your scoring for the lid. So we'll score that on all 4 sides. Like that. And then we're going to, using this score line here, score the corners from the corner to where they all join there on each side. So you do that all the way around, and that will then give you this. So then you would put some, let's just pop, I'll show you, glue or double-sided tape. So I'm going to use some glue here, which takes a little bit longer to dry. Make sure you've got your corners nice and even. And then, oops, pop a little bit on the inside of one piece. So when you do it, you push it together. Might take a little while because we've got to wait for the glue to hold. So you're going to do that at each corner, like so, making sure they're glued really well. Again, sometimes it's easier to use double-sided tape because it's more instant, and then that will give you your box lid. So hopefully that helps. Now this particular one, I actually bought this from a store in Tasmania called Image Plus Scrapbook Superstore. So I will link that in the description below so that you can see where it is. And that's what I bought. That's where I bought this one through, and it just makes it so much easier. What you can do in about half an hour here to do all your bases could take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to do manually. But either way works, and they're both great. So that's your explosion box card. Hopefully this helps. If you've got any comments or questions, just pop it into the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And please feel free to come and join us on my Facebook page called Barossa Valley Crafts, or I do have another one called Cardmaking for Beginners and Beyond, and I'll add those links in the description as well. And hopefully you've liked this, and click on like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. And thank you for joining me, and happy crafting. Bye.